The bright city lights of downtown Chicago reflected in Logan's rearview mirror as he checked the lane behind him and merged to the left. With his window down and the breeze ruffling his hair, he floored it up an empty street, thankful it wasn't yet the coldest time of the year. It was, however, 4:15 a.m. Fuck. Tate was not going to be happy when he banged on his front door, but that was too damn bad. He'd made a deal with Mr. Morrison not so long ago, and if he recalled correctly, and I know I fucking do, he'd stipulated no dead silences. Granted, at the time, he'd been more of the days and weeks variety, but after the night they'd had, and the fact that he'd missed the opportunity to peel Tate out of his tux, the past 3 hours and 15 minutes had felt like an eternity. Earlier in the evening, it had made sense to drop Tate at home, especially since they both had separate places to be today. But when Logan had walked into his condo and crawled between his sheets, he'd discovered that his bed minus Tate no longer offered a comfortable place to rest. Instead, it had made him antsy and hyper-aware of how much he desired the company of the sexy, pig-headed man. God, I miss him. In only months, he had gone from a man who ran from commitments to one who was in his car speeding head first toward a bigger one. He'd thought of that and nothing else while he tried to exhaust himself on the treadmill, and while his feet had pounded out a steady pace, he'd had time to think about exactly what he wanted. And now he knew. His motto of try, take, and top had changed. Oh, he'd tried Tate all right, and they'd both done a hell of a lot of taking. But for once in his life, Logan didn't feel the desire to win. He didn't need to come out on top. What he wanted was Tate's trust. His absolute trust. Tate lay in bed and willed himself to go to sleep. Tonight had not gone according to plan. Lying there alone was proof enough of that. But it was also damn depressing. He'd had high hopes for the night, ones that involved being introduced as Logan's partner, and he'd been looking forward to that. What he hadn't anticipated was Christopher Walker being as much of a problem as he'd turned out to be. Tate had been almost positive that Chris wouldn't have balls to walk up to Logan and confront him, so he'd figured they wouldn't really have to deal with him at all. How wrong was I? No, Chris hadn't confronted Logan exactly, but he sure as hell had found an effective way to get his attention.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.